3 months ago, one of my friend rider named Carlos thought his engine was dying. His once smooth ride started sputtering, jerking at low RPMs, and sounded like a coffee grinder in traffic. He was ready to trade it in, until a mechanic friend showed him one simple routine he'd never done. 1 week later, that same engine was purring like new. No rebuild, no replacement, just smart maintenance most riders ignore. So before you spend a fortune at the shop, try these 13 proven steps that can restore your bike's heart and soul. Step number 1. Change the oil. Let's start with the most obvious but most mismanaged step. Changing oil isn't enough. You need to use the right type, grade, and interval for your engine. Many riders use generic car oil or skip changes beyond the recommended mileage. That kills performance. Use motorcycle-specific oil, preferably synthetic if your engine allows it. And don't rely on time alone. Watch for signs like increased heat, engine noise, or dark oil on the dipstick. A technician from a Kawasaki service center once said, "Dirty oil is like sandpaper in your engine. It doesn't just lubricate, it slowly destroys." Fresh, proper oil is your engine's lifeblood. Number 2. Clean or replace the air filter. Think of your air filter as your engine's lungs. If it's clogged, your bike suffocates, burns more fuel, loses power, and runs hotter. A dirty filter can drop horsepower without you even realizing it. Most riders don't clean or replace their air filter until it's visibly filthy. That's too late. Inspect it every 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers, especially if you ride in dusty areas. Foam filters can be cleaned and re-oiled. Paper ones usually need replacing. A clean filter gives your bike more breath and more bite. Number 3. Use fuel additives or injector cleaners. Occasionally. Over time, deposits build up inside your fuel system, especially if you use regular fuel or let your bike sit. This gunk affects fuel injectors or carburetors, leading to misfires, weak acceleration, and poor idling. Using a high-quality fuel injector cleaner every few thousand kilometers can dissolve carbon and restore spray patterns. One Yamaha tech I spoke to recommends a bottle of cleaner every third tank if you ride short distances. It's like detox for your engine, clearing out residue that soap and water could never reach. Number 4. Adjust the valve clearance. This one's a game changer, and it's often forgotten. Your engine's valves open and close thousands of times per minute. Over time, they go out of spec. If the clearance is too tight, the valves don't seat properly, causing compression loss and hot starts. Too loose, and they sound like a sewing machine. Either way, performance suffers. Many bikes require valve checks every 10,000 to 20,000 kilometers, but riders skip it because it sounds technical or costly. Don't. Proper valve adjustment restores quiet, smooth running, and efficient combustion. It's not flashy, but it's critical. Number 5. Check spark plugs. Your spark plugs are tiny but mighty. They ignite the air-fuel mix, and even slight wear can affect your throttle response and fuel burn. If your engine hesitates under acceleration or has cold start issues, check the plugs. Are they black and sooty, oily, corroded? Replace them. Use plugs with the correct gap and heat rating. A rider I met on a long tour had been losing power gradually and thought his clutch was slipping. Turned out to be a fouled plug. New ones gave him a 15% power boost overnight. Small part, huge impact. Number 6. Sync your throttle bodies. If you ride a twin or multi-cylinder engine, each cylinder needs to fire evenly. When throttle bodies or carbs are out of sync, one cylinder works harder, others lag. The result? Vibration, uneven idling, poor fuel efficiency. You can feel it in your handlebars and pegs. A throttle body sync, or carb sync on older bikes, balances the airflow between cylinders, making your engine feel together again. It's often overlooked, but when done right, the difference is night and day, like upgrading to a more refined engine without changing your bike. Number 7. Flush and replace the coolant. Your engine generates intense heat, and coolant keeps it from cooking itself. But coolant breaks down over time, losing its ability to control temperature and prevent corrosion inside the radiator and engine. If you've never changed it, or it's been more than 2 years, your bike could be running hotter than it should. One rider, Ahmed from Kuala Lumpur, noticed his temperature gauge creeping higher in traffic. He thought it was a thermostat issue, until a mechanic flushed the old coolant and replaced it with fresh, manufacturer-recommended antifreeze. Problem gone. Bonus, a coolant flush also clears mineral buildup, improving overall engine health. Number 8. Check for vacuum leaks. This one flies under the radar. A cracked vacuum line or loose intake boot can cause your bike to idle rough, hesitate on throttle, or even stall, and most riders chase everything else: plugs, fuel, valves, before they check for air leaks. If your engine sounds uneven or surges randomly, spray a little carb cleaner near the intake boots or hoses, with the engine idling. If the RPM jumps, you've got a leak. One mechanic in Berlin told me, vacuum leaks are the ghosts of engine problems, hard to spot, but easy to fix. Sealing them restores fuel-air balance, throttle response, and idle stability. Number 9. Lube and adjust the chain. This may sound like basic maintenance, but your chain directly affects how smoothly power gets to your rear tire. If it's too loose, it slaps and jerks. Too tight, it stresses the gearbox. Dirty chains create drag, making your engine work harder to push the same speed. Clean it with a proper chain cleaner, not WD-40. Lube it with motorcycle-specific chain lube and adjust it to factory tension. A rider from Melbourne shared how just cleaning and tightening his chain made his throttle feel snappy again. It's not just about the chain, it's about restoring power delivery from engine to asphalt. Number 10. Reset the ECU or relearn throttle. Today's bikes often have ECUs that adjust to your riding habits, but over time they can store bad idle values or fuel maps, especially after modifications or battery replacements. On some models, doing a throttle position sensor reset, or ECU relearn, can restore smoother throttle, faster starts, and better fuel economy. It varies by bike, but some common steps include turning the ignition on without starting, waiting 10 seconds, then turning off. Others may require a scan tool. Look up your model's method. A Ducati owner in Spain did a simple ECU reset after a battery change, and said it ran like a totally different machine. Sometimes your engine just needs to remember how to run cleanly. Number 11. Inspect and replace the fuel filter. Most riders forget their fuel filter even exists until it's too late. Over time, debris and sediment from your gas tank clog the filter, restricting flow and starving the engine. Symptoms include weak acceleration, poor fuel economy, or even stalling under load. One Honda mechanic in Texas told me he's pulled filters with rust flakes, so thick the engine could barely breathe. If your bike is over 15,000 kilometers and you've never checked it, now's the time. On some models, it's inside the tank. On others, it's external and easier to access. A clean fuel filter keeps injectors safe and combustion consistent. Your engine will thank you with smoother revs and stronger throttle. Number 12. Check battery voltage and terminals. A weak or dying battery might not stop your bike immediately, but it will weaken performance. Poor battery health leads to slow starts, inconsistent idling, and weak spark delivery, especially on fuel-injected engines. Even worse, corroded terminals can drop voltage without warning. One rider in Cape Town had random stalling issues on hot days. Turned out to be a loose ground wire causing voltage dips. Use a multimeter to check your battery's resting voltage. It should be around 12.6 volts or higher. Clean terminals, tighten connections, and if your battery's more than 3 years old, test its cold cranking amps. Healthy ignition starts with solid voltage. Number 13. Re-grease and torque engine mounts. You may not feel it directly, but loose or dry engine mounts can transmit harsh vibration through the frame, making your bike feel rougher, older, and less responsive. Over time, bolts can loosen slightly or rubber bushings dry up. A rider in Manila had constant buzzing through the handlebars at high RPMs. He thought it was engine wear until a mechanic torqued and greased his mounts. Instantly smoother. Make sure engine bolts are torqued to spec. And if your bike uses rubber insulators, inspect them for wear or cracking. It's a small thing, but it brings back that factory-tight, balanced feel you forgot your bike once had.